Inflewence here, and today I got the Voltron CARBOTIX Blitzway Voltron. I've done a review on the KO of this guy, so if you want to see like a full review, go check that KO, because it's basically has the same articulation and stuff the lines. So here I'm just going to do the Voltron review. I'm going to show you one line and some of the stuff that it can do that the KO doesn't do, and I'll compare the KO to this as well. So stick around for all of that.
Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
So let's just combine this. It comes in Voltron form, so for the people that don't like combining things, it's already in that form. I'm gonna go through some of the accessories first, and then we'll combine it real quick. So you have the blazing sword, which is chromed out, which is one of the differences of the KO. Blazing sword is not chromed out on the KO. Neither is the shield. You have the shield with the handle chromed out. All the lines are chromed out, of course, because that's what they do. You have your guys here. So we have these 5 men that you can, I left them in here because I'll lose them. I already know myself. You have this stand. Stand is great. You have the stand with the stand things, and I will show that at the end with the lines on it. I will show that the KO can put the lines on there, because this is really why I got this. This is going to be my main Voltron, and the KO is going to be for the lines on the stand in front of my main Voltron. You also get a couple things. You get this piece that goes, it helps with the sword, because you have 2 configurations of the stand. And what was that? The other tool. Like I was saying, you have 2 configurations of the stand. You can have the thing straight up, or you can have them out, which is how I'm going to have them, so it looks like the lines are flying. Also with this, lift this up, has a trap door, and you get all the accessories for the line. You get the extra face, have a place to store them, which all this is great. So, and it's magnetic. I do like that. And this is nice here. I do wish it had lights, especially for the price. I don't think it does, but you're gonna ask for. You also get these right here. They're basically little pieces that put on in order to house things. This is so you can get to the lights in the back of the head of the lions, and this is a tool just to get some of the stuff together. So that's cool that they give you that. You get a book, you get some stickers, and you also get, I believe these are extras for the lines, because I think they already have them in their head. I'm not sure. I'm going to test it out. These stickers are for the numbers to be on the lions. I'm not sure. I might use these on the KO in order to have the lines have the numbers on, and Voltron don't really need the numbers to me. I kind of like it without the numbers. And you get this giant box. It comes in a shipper box, so it's a box in a box. This giant box right here. Just really nice art box, but it's really big. So, and the shipper box is even bigger. Comes pretty well packed. My FedEx guy was not kind. Shout out to Henny for this. Agabus. Go to Aggie. Go to agabus.com. You can buy this and pick this up if you're interested. So let's just combine this here. We have all the lines. Like I said, they come in Voltron mode, so you do have to, there's a crossbar in here that fits. Not sure if you can see in there down, there's a cross bar that you gotta kind of try to match up, and it goes in fine. Match that up. Over here is the same way. Push that all the way in. Fine. Doesn't feel like it's going to come out. pull these out. Of course, if you know anything about Voltron, you kind of can get this stuff together yourself without the directions. Pull the legs out a little bit. Here we go. Here you have a button back here that you can push in order to kind of get this in better. Then it locks. Same thing over here. Make sure the rocker does have an ankle rocker, so make sure that's straight. You have heel spurs back here. They're up. So if it's not standing right, gotta get those heel spurs out. Then you can kind of get those heel spurs to and last but not least, you want to pull down his head. Get that up here. Pull this down. And his head comes down. And there we are. Voltron. So let me show his face up close. You can see he does have another face. Battery compartment in the back here that you have to pull this little already installed batteries, but it has a cover so they don't go down, run down. So you pull that out, close that back. So now the batteries are in there. There's a little switch underneath. You can see up here. Turn these lights off, see if you can see it better. That you can hold his sword. There's a tab in here that goes into his mouth, so he can tab into the top of his mouth. See if I can find it. Kind of tab that in there, and then you can close his hand. He can hold his sword, also hold a shield in the same way. Ooh, sharp. Be careful. Shield is sharp. So you can kind of move this shield handle whichever way you need it. So then when you have it, he can move it in. And there's Voltron all armed up and ready to go. So let's bring in the KO, the original, and then the KO, and we can see the differences. Is the KO bigger? Or is it the... Oh, you know what it is? I think it's the... I think there's a joint that a pull-up joint that I don't think is all the way up on the KO, but it... Yeah, there we go. I was going to say there's a joint that you can pull up to make him taller. So it's weird to me because he's in a different type of pose. He kind of has his knees bent, but it looks like he's taller even without this up. So let me see if they have the joint in here too. It looks like the joint's here, but it's super tight. The one on the official was way easier. But like I said, maybe it's just the pose that's making him look a little taller. But in any respect, chromed out here, chromed out here. All the legs are chromed out on the original, all the lion legs. But this is pretty much the same color. This looks a little better painted. The silver over here than over here, but it's negotiable. All this stuff, I don't know if it's worth more. Let me see. You got the gold ears over here. That's dull. I kind of like these ears better than the chrome, because the chrome you're gonna have to wipe off. It's gonna be a fingerprint magnet, so once you get it into position, you're gonna want to polish it to make it a little bit more, come out a little bit more. I don't know, the face over here, they're very similar, but I'm not sure if it's just because I know this is the original and the paint pops more over here. This is shiny paint. This is more dull than this side. Again, negotiable and preference, like subjective. Over here is dull. Here is more shiny with the gold in there. Even the paint. This is more shiny than this is dull. Like all the red parts are shinier than the KO. But again, like I said, it's subjective, and you may even like the dull look better. I like the chrome look for Voltron better than the dull, which is the reason I bought the two. Also, I wanted the original as Voltron, and I also wanted the stand stuff so I could add the KO to the stand, which I've heard it works. I'm going to try to show it at the end. I'm going to see if it works, but I mean, I think that's pretty much it. The articulation is more than likely the same. I don't see anything super different. I do know there were some issues with the legs of the individual lions and just trying to get them where they needed to go. I think that was more so because it was a KO and was kind of rushed. So I think that's pretty much what that was. This joint here on the KO, I'm gonna show it over here more, but there's like a kind of inside joint, so you can get that kind of, I think you could do the blazing sword like together. But yeah, I don't think I showed that on the original review. If you want to see the unboxing and everything, I did that for the members, so you have to become a member. I would appreciate you if you became a member. But yeah, I do the unboxings for members only unboxings. So if you ever want to see unboxings, just join my memberships. There's a join button, and it's only $1, because you know I'm only offering, I take some extra pictures sometimes and just unboxings, so it's not a whole bunch of content for members, so that's why it's only $1 a month. Let's just do articulation. So you got his head goes all the way down like that, goes all the way up like that, and it can go side to side. The neck does get in the way of the side to side, so it doesn't go all the way around. Of course, the ears move, whichever is your preference. I like them out in Voltron mode. These are on ratchets. Of course, they fold in for lion mode, and they can go back as you would expect. Arms on soft ratchets all the way around. He can go all the way up. Great range of motions, all ratcheted. Elbow. Can he move his elbow? I thought maybe he could move his elbow, but he does get the 90 degrees on the elbow. And it goes back like that. And again, this also, I was trying to get it like this way, but it's not really working. Got a bicep swivel up here. Hand is the lion's mouth, so it just opens up. It does move around swivelly. You can move it out if you want to get it on this. It's really the lion's neck, but you can do it. Head comes off. You want to shoot his lion head. Waist. This is more together, more solid than the KO. So there's that. Waist still has some, it does come out when you manipulate it, which I don't like. KO did that too, but it was just a little bit more. So you can grab it more right here. It helps. Now the waist does have some articulation limitations. Goes that far to the side and that far to the side. It's not even hitting that. It's like stopping. I'm not sure. I don't want to break it, so I'm not going to force it. I do know there's an ab crunch at the top. You can get those. It's right here. So you get the ab crunch about like that. 3 little clicks. Legs have a drop down, so you can get the extra drop down and get the legs up all the way. Knees still don't. Oh well, not too bad. So get the drop down a little bit, and then you can move it back as well. So forward, he gets the full hurdles, but it does hold somewhat. I mean, are you going to be shaking it like that? Even the knee holds, but as soon as you start shaking it, it'll come down. But you can see how far. Not sure why you need your Voltron. And the drop down is probably why, just now realizing it's probably why the KO looked bigger. I think I had to drop down because of the pose he was in. So you got swivel right here. I showed the knee. The knee does go more than 90, but it doesn't hold. That's one thing. It held to here when it was out. It won't go back, but that ratchet isn't the greatest. So these are heavy figures. I think it'll hold a pose though. It won't be a problem. At least I don't think. And the leg is the head. I mean, the foot is the head. So you got down about that much, up like that. And the whole thing, you have the whole rocker here. You can rock out that way, you can rock out this way. View. So now I will do one individual lion just because. Oh, it's not bad at all. Stays on well, but it's not bad. So pretty much what you do with these in all the lions, they have these flaps that you open up. There's some oil on here as well. I'm guessing it's for the legs, like maybe they oiled them up, or the flap, or to get that in there they oiled it up. So then you can move this down. There's a peg that pegs in right there, and then you kind of get this leg out as much as possible. You can pull it out like that, then move it up. Now this is always interesting to do, but you got to try to get that like that, and then move this up. It goes in there like that. Same thing over here. Move that out. Yeah, I think they just greased it up, but then you gotta move it out so that peg gets out of there. All of them are like that. Move this, and then kind of get this leg up in there. It's not an easy task, but it can be done. You move this down. Same thing back here. Move this out. Move the leg out to get it. This down, and then this kind of goes in here and rest in there. And you got the back legs. Get the other leg. Gotta try to work it out like that, and then move this down here. Then this goes in like that, and then you have this. Now for the tail, move this out, move the tail out, and then you move the port in. Now I know this port is hard to get out, so I'm just gonna put it like that for now. Don't move it all the way in because it's just gonna be almost impossible. Then you can move the head. I mean, the head will come off, but you gotta try to move it. Let me see if I can leave it on and move it up. Yeah, it's a little difficult, I ain't gonna lie. But I think the neck, it extends more. The two lights that I thought were extras are for the arm bots. So you pull this down here, you take this tool, there's a little spot there that you can insert the light in. So let's try one of them. I've had lights like this before where you just push it to turn it on. So like these lights, I don't know, I don't really like them, but they go in this little piece right here. So you put this in first. I'm just showing it outside, and then you put this piece in, and as you push this piece down, it turns on the light. But you need to pull this piece back in order to turn it off so it's not touching the light to give it power, which I don't know how much I like that, but what are you gonna do? So here's this thing. Guess I'll just put this in here like this. This, you can push this on and it'll light up. Let me see. I don't know if it's lighting up anything. It's lighting up something, but I don't know how well you can see that. It does light up the eyes a little bit. I don't know if it's worth the trouble, the hassle, but it's there. You gotta kind of pull it down like that. And then you can get this. You got the articulation, the mouth articulation. You have this here, which they all have, the pop-up. And then even, this is what the KO did not have. I don't know if you can see this, but let me turn the brightness up. There you go. You see the guy in there? Each one has this little cover that when you open, slide it out. Little gimmick. He can't come out, but you do have the other guys that can come out that stand up. And here's the line. And you got the same articulation that you had with the arm. You get the line up and down like that. You can move this. Can you move this? Oh, I don't think you can move this. Thought you could. Yeah, so it can move that way or that way. And then he has his legs, the lion legs, which they all have this articulation, and they have rockers at the feet. So let's just go back, and you just fold these legs up like this and make sure, pull that out. And then you push this in, and there's a tab that goes in there. Again, over here, just fold these legs up like that. Well, not yet. Move that out like that, and then you can pull this up. Then you can fold these over. Make sure this is all the way up. So this goes up and in there, and then you can kind of peg it in. Then this goes down on top and pegs in tight. It's not flappy like the KO. The KO was flappy, these flaps, but this is really nice and tight and clean. Then that, you kind of angle that up, flip that up, Move these in. And let the cover go. Again, you angle it up over here. And you can flip this out easily. There you go. And here's where you need one of the tools that they give you. Yeah, so definitely don't put that all the way in. It's not super hard, but it's hard enough. Move that in there. And here you go. Now you have the arm. So now I'll show you how to put the stand together. It's color coded. So yellow, white is the black lion. So you put this, slide this in here like this. Very secure, and it goes all the way up to here. So with these on, you can still have access to this part. But then yellow on this side, I mean, you could really put it as you want. The two leg bots go on this side, and then the two arm bots are over here. I assume it's like that for a reason, because maybe the bulk of them, and they all want like the two lightest ones are on the side. So I don't know. Now we got green. Let's put green over here. Blue right here. And then red is on this side. And how these work are only the yellow or the black line has like a port. This is the only one I'm concerned with, because this is the only thing that's holding it on, this piece of plastic right here. The rest of them seem pretty tight because they go into the actual ports of the lions where they connect. So they actually, this goes into the port, this goes into the back of the port, the other lion. And yeah, I have the KO transformed into the lions, so we can see how this works. So let me put this on here like this. Goes on there. Let me get this guy here. Like I said, it goes on the port, so you have to open up the port and put it in his rear. Yeah, so push the button. What am I doing? In order to get this in there. Then it goes in fine. Goes in fine with no problem. Port, you just sticking in there. Blue line. Actually, they're all easy if you know what you're doing. If you do it right. And then black line, like I said, this is the only one that is kind of scary because of the port, just the plastic piece. And man, I can say this display is super, it's just impressive and nice. Actually didn't disappoint. Like if you just get this for this, man. And they are a little wobbly. I don't think they're going anywhere if they're on your shelf, but they do wobble around somewhat. So I think I'm gonna install the weapons and get this where I need it. Then I'll show you the final display. And here it is, all armored up, in case I forgot to show that. And in case also that I didn't mention it, the weapons are exactly the same finish, same look, same everything. So that doesn't really matter what you use. And this is the KO on this stand. So it definitely works. And back there is the original Blitzway. So we'll see how this display looks. I'm gonna need a riser.
Life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.